not really a big deal either. It's like it's a thing I'm fucking around with. I might playtest it soon because I want to.
Yeah.
Um,
Sounds very cool.
I have this. There's this very cool example of a society in the pre-built society kits called Ultra Neo Goths, and they're basically like
Society.
gothic raiders,
Mm-hmm.
but they serve. Like they're goths and
They're
they're
both
also
kinds.
goths.
They're literally.
Yeah.
They're both kinds of goths. Amazing.
Yeah, somebody just pinged me in VIP backroom, but I can't look in there because I'm on stream.
I can look.
That would be very much appreciated.
It was
Oh, just
simply a
sorcerer
bit
answering.
of sources.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, hello, welcome to Fast Food Thursday on Tuesday. On Tuesday,
Yeah.
not Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. As promised, the Prime Minister of New Zealand will not be on stream today. I've made you aware of this. You have been.
You
made
banned
aware
him
of this.
from coming on to stream.
Yeah, because he's like he was a bit of a he was mean last time he was
Damn.
on. He said
I'm sad I missed him.
yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
you. It's like you were out. You were on stream, but like very passively. I don't know if you were like taking a shit for 90 minutes.
I thought Sito was in New Zealand.
No, I was only on the stream briefly,
Yeah.
and right when I left, the Prime Minister of New Zealand joined.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, okay.
It was really
By
crazy.
the way,
He
I
actually
think
he
the-
sounded remarkably like you. It was really. I think you two would have gotten along.
He's
Even,
just a Sita
are you
type
calling
fella,
it-
you know.
Yeah, he obviously
Are
had
you
a very
calling-
thick New Zealand accent though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you
By
calling?
the way,
He would.
I
Are you
fixed
calling
the
Tito
Lafayette apron with the first belt I could find.
Very happy that you could. Just to.
Great.
This is the live stream where we, the feminists, watch a
Yeah.
woman cook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, today I'm.
We
spreading
also
fast.
occasionally hurl abuse at her.
Yes.
Yeah. The real question is. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was just.
No. As a feminist, I would never dream to interrupt a woman.
Of course.
I would.
Okay, you said you interrupt. Anyway, sorry, 1 second.
And she leaves.
I said to Burger earlier
Interrupt
that
yourself.
the reason that I feel drawn to Raised by Wolves might be because the point of it all, the central theme of it is that you can't trust a woman.
Yeah, this is definitely the central theme of the show Raised by Wolves.
Yes. Which this is a fan cast of, by the way.
It's not. It's an enemy cast. But please go ahead, Alex.
Yes, let me explain what's going to happen today. So, as you know, today's dumpling was going to be the Zongzi. That is not going to happen because of technical issues, so this is the backup. I'm not doing a dumpling stream, technically. This is not a dumpling.
I'm gonna kill
instead-
myself.
Yes, I'm sorry. Please don't do it. It's going to be fun, actually.
Killing
I'm going
myself,
to
I believe it will.
Jumping off on an airplane.
Woo!
I'm going to recreate a recipe from a 1930s fascist magazine and basically plagiarize fucking tasting history.
Hell
In
yeah.
fact, I made notes and everything. Like, there's text in here.
Damn.
I don't see it.
Yes, because you don't need to. I'm going to talk about it.
Well.
So, anyways, this is a recipe from a magazine. I don't remember the name of it. I did not write down, but it was released in 1939, so right at the end of the Spanish Civil War. It was a magazine for phalanxists, women, women in the phalange, the phalanx.
Yeah.
The not only a fascist organization, like the fascist organization in what insofar as it relates to Spain.
It's
This
nice
is,
to hear what the women were up to in the Spanish Civil War.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm going to talk about
Making
it later.
this
but
recipe.
Generally, like the women's section of this organization at one point basically carried the entire organization, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
Hell yeah, women. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have titled this presentation.
Women in fascist dictatorships.
Yeah, I have titled this presentation "Garibaldi with Disastrous Consequences."
Mm.
Okay, so first of all, what recipe are we making today? One of torta de reyes. If I were to literally translate it, it would be the king's cake.
But King's Cake,
with-
the little apostrophe, it's behind the S because it's of the king's plural.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes.
One of the Iberio-Franco recipes.
Yes,
The
if
Franco,
I-
yes.
Well,
Yeah. In both senses of the word.
That's the
Of
guy.
the word.
no,
The fascists and also the guy. You know.
yeah. Despite its regal name, actually, if I had to describe the recipe as anything, it would be depressing. To be
Nice.
honest, it screams post-war. Here we have all the ingredients, which are flour, salt, butter, and water.
Fancy butter.
Yeah, but right. Like,
Yeah. Do
actually,
they
it's like-
do they offer like a substitutions for butter?
No. This is
Damn.
a fancy recipe. It's butter or nothing.
Yeah, to be fair, with that kind of with the galette des rois or king's cake, yeah.
It said like a quarter of a teaspoon, like a coffee spoon to be exact. Well, a quarter of a teaspoon of salt for the whole recipe. I'm making a quarter of the whole recipe because I do not have much faith that this is going to be all that good.
So what's the spoon amount?
Like half. Sorry, half would be like the full amount, so it would be like this much salt.
Okay. No, now
So,
it makes
like-
sense. I didn't understand that
Let's
fully.
kill this guy with hammers.
So like I'm going to add like this much.
Good. Anything more, I would have gotten angry.
And I'm going to
I
mix
have no
it.
strong feelings one way or the other.
Mhm.
Now, next, I'm going to grab the butter that was cold like moments ago. Now it's warmed up a bit, but it's going to be fine. I'm going to tell you a secret. I have another batch ready in the fridge because it needs to rest for like a long while. So I made
This
some in
really is some actual serious cooking show shit.
Oh yes, yeah. This is getting serious lately. So, but as I was saying, it says knead the butter in with your fingers, which I interpret thusly like this is basically a pie crust recipe, like a pretty standard water pie crust recipe.
Warm them up.
So like it is basically to sort of incorporate, and once it's broken up, to start adding water bit by bit and continue kneading
Water
and repeat
pie.
this motion.
Water pie would be something that is like on an old N64 video, like a Zelda thing that you can buy and eat, and it would be like a pie crust and with like it would just be like blue, and I would as a child have been obsessed with getting to eat that.
Water pie is actually a
What are
real
you talking about?
American Great Depression era recipe. It consists of pie crust to which you add water, flour, sugar and optional vanilla extract as a as a filling. Like,
But
you
does
just
it
add them
have
without
a
mixing.
blue jelly-like filling that's like blue?
But you could make something like that with like, blue color and blue
Yeah.
coloring and like jelly
Like-
mix
Well,
or like
yes, but it
whatever.
wouldn't be the same one as in the video game. I don't think so. In the
The
hypothetical
fancy-
video game that doesn't exist, but which I would have.
You
been
probably would
obsessed
want to
about.
use. You also probably wouldn't
I
want to use
feel
gelatin.
like-
You probably want to egg off.
I
because
feel
if
like you're
heating
all
it-
not being schizophrenic enough to understand Gideon here.
No, don't worry. I'm just ignoring him.
Well, you literally are engaging with my premise. I feel like that's not the same as ignoring.
No, yeah. No, I am
to be
engaging with the
pedant
original
about this.
premise. I'm engaging with the original premise. I'm ignoring any further input.
Well, you know,
Sorry.
this is not how communication
Fucking
works.
scientists.
Okay, here we go. Okay, the recipe says just when it comes together, as it has done right about now, to stop mixing it, stop kneading it. While it is still heterogeneous, you can still see some butter not fully incorporated into the dough, and now cover it and let it chill in a cool place.
It's so fascist that you have to let it chill before it's like homo. It has to remain hetero.
Yes. And that process would take about at least an hour, and up to 12 hours. I think it said. It's going to do that, and while it does, I am well, I'm not going to do much really. I have this, and I can talk a bit about the historical context of
So this is this is the already rested dough because you put your fridge into time machine mode.
Yes, basically.
Yeah, okay.
Also,
God
I
damn.
do have to
The
preheat
fascists
my
in
oven.
the Spanish Civil War had crazy tech. No wonder they won.
They had like the time
no,
machine
this-
fridge and also this shitty cake.
This is
yeah,
actually
it's,
communist I'm actually using communist magic, so
Oh, okay. No, I thought she was using the what's it called, the fucking the Antarctica Nazi time machine / spaceship
No, it's
that they
different.
So
loaned.
you're telling me if you're
Spanish.
using commie magic, doesn't that make the recipe inauthentic?
no, because
Of
No, they
horseshoe
forced
theory.
the communists.
Because of
No.
horseshoe.
in fact, it is actually slightly inauthentic because the original recipe would be dangerous.
So you're saying this is a third way cake?
In what? Let's not
Yeah.
gloss over her saying the original way would be dangerous.
Yes,
That's pretty obvious.
yeah, because it would be fascist.
Yeah, it would be fascist.
Jesus Christ.
Could cause a second
Everyone is so concerned with fascism these days.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want a
The
second
woke
Guernica
mob
happening,
wants
do
you
you?
to be concerned about
You know what? I
fascism.
actually like that painting, so I'm pro it.
Okay.
When I
Okay.
was a teenager in like high school, we had a version of that painting in like the hallway. And when I wasn't aware that the painting Guernica existed at that point. And when I heard
no.
about it, my first thought was, huh, and we have it in just our random high school? What the fuck? Shouldn't it be in a proper museum? And then my second thought was, I would like some pudding. And then the third one was, maybe it is in a proper museum and we don't have the original.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. So,
Yeah,
is actually
anyways.
this is actually
Right.
going to chill for a bit. Sorry. I've actually omitted a few steps right now. which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
when
of course. You weren't even using this as like to make it chill faster.
but yeah, what I omitted was the shaping. My bad. I actually wanted to not do that. But yeah, basically what it does is letting the dough chill in the fridge for a bit, then spreading it thin, folding it onto itself in thirds, and repeating
Mhm.
that 2 more times. So
Like
now
goddamn
the
protein.
Holy
the
shit!
oven is
Who allowed her to talk?
Yeah. She's doing a fascism.
This is the women in the kitchen making fascist cake podcast.
Indeed, and that's exactly what is happening.
Wait, it is? I thought this was the Raised by Wolves fancast.
No, that was last week.
No, see, the problem here is that Alex isn't pregnant enough. You need to be more pregnant to make this
What
real.
the fuck did you do to your microphone, man? You sound fucking crisp.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
I'm at
surprised.
home right now and I'm using a Blue Yeti mic.
God
Yeah.
damn.
Just put the Blue Yeti into your truck.
How does your Yeti
Oh,
sound
yeah.
like
Fries
that?
in
Though?
my
Mine sounds like this
I told
shit.
you I'm not pregnant.
Nah, you got to work on that, Alex. you need to get pregnant. That way,
Yeah.
that way the image is pure and true.
Mm.
I guess.
Yeah. Also, you
yeah,
need
it's all
the flower dresses.
Oh
If
yeah.
you, were to, if you were to ascribe a level of pregnancy, like a value to it, how much additional pregnancy would she require?
At least
I'm gonna say
3 out of
probably
5.
I'm gonna say like house hippo. Like just
fucking
big.
what?
That's a very.
I was gonna-
I
I was
love
gonna
that
say-
we
I was gonna say
Europeans all came
7.
up with numbers, and he came up with like some American made up.
Yeah, American.
Yeah.
No, this
Yeah, I'm
literally
The
literally this
American
morning.
necessity of price.
God,
Literally
everything
this-
uses the metric system.
Numbers are
literally
not
this
free enough.
morning, literally this morning, I was on TikTok just scrolling through videos, and one popped up of this guy walking up to his very pregnant wife on the sofa and playing the audio. Now here we have an example of the American house hippo, and you just see her like the shock on her face, and she starts to get up, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's in trouble now.
If she ever gets up, he's in trouble.
Yeah. So I'm just like,
Oh.
okay, house hippo. That means like you're big.
Food.
I'm doing.
Anyway, sorry
Well,
for
I was
going
Historical
off topic.
context of the fascism cake.
Oh, yes, of course. So I think this is a good excuse to well, I mean, historical context. Is, this was like end of the war period. You know, you know how war leaves
War
Never
never
changes.
ends.
countries.
Yeah,
you know
never
what
ends,
war
yeah.
does to countries. Yeah,
Yeah, it makes them
you can imagine,
cool and
like,
awesome because everyone is happy that they get to be a cool hero.
It pulls
Yes.
us out of economic despair
It
for some strange reason.
Yes.
It creates
All
it
of those
creates
are correct.
utopias.
It
Mhm.
creates jobs.
Yeah.
all these are very much correct. Yes.
It's-
So as you can imagine, it was like a pretty cool time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we might actually talk about that time at one point, but I think we are going to focus a bit more about on the topic of fascism.
Yes.
So yes, as I was saying, the Falange de Phalanx, Falange de las Cons, later on, like it's actually a really long name, the Phalanx for short, was, as I was talking about earlier, a fascist organization that pretty much shaped Spanish fascism in the particular shape it took within its context.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
yes. It started off when, well, first of all, it started in 1933, and it was founded by the son of the previous Spanish dictator, Miguel Primo de Rivera, who ruled in the 20s. So, like in 1933, his son, José Antonio Primo de Rivera, started the organization, of which he became basically the co-leader of, as fascism pretty much requires. And
Will this be on the test?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
what I want to know.
I know.
Yes,
Primarily,
I'm-
I'm here for the cake.
yes.
I mean, I appreciate.
You ain't
I
getting
appreciate
if
the
you don't get a
history
good grade on the
lesson.
test.
Yeah, I appreciate the history lesson, but
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
I'm taking notes. I'm so fucked. I'm
I'm actually going to make you take a test at the end.
Hey,
if you're
hey,
fine.
can I borrow your notes? I'll give you some hand sanitizer in
No.
the bathroom you can chug.
no.
No.
I'm sorry. You can chug.
We can't share.
Don't worry,
you
don't worry,
got-
guys,
wait,
don't worry, don't worry.
yeah,
The lesson
yeah,
is
you guys
getting
aren't- you
recorded,
guys-
guys.
Yeah, you guys are Americans. You've never chugged hand sanitizer to get drunk. Okay, never
That-
What
mind.
the
this
fuck
is-
would
this
you
is
chug and
absolutely
sign
true,
to
yes.
get drunk?
Fucking hell.
What's your favorite flavor?
Why would you
Excuse me,
chug?
don't put words in my mouth.
Isn't
Right?
Well, because
isn't it all denatured alcohol?
well, because you're in high school and you can't buy regular booze, so you buy hand
Yes,
sanitizer.
you can.
Yes, I can. I could go to the supermarket
I'm
and
European,
buy
Yeah,
I
I
beer
said
and
you're
wine
American. You're an American teenager.
because I'm 16
I'm
years
not
old.
an American teenager though.
But I look, okay, that was a time in my life. Okay, sorry for ever mentioning it.
Don't worry, don't worry.
I love this.
In high school, I brewed my own alcohol and nearly gave myself botulism just to get drunk.
This has never happened to me, and I brew
Wow.
my own alcohol.
Yeah, well, you
as
could
well.
just go to the store
Man.
starting age 16.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was like,
Bebit, I one of these days, I need to talk about the time I accidentally took LSD.
What?
What did
Oh,
you
like
think
the
it was?
discoverer of LSD.
on
Yeah.
accident, Mr. FBI.
No, it was literally like I drank somebody else's drink, and they were like, "Hey, I doped that with LSD," and I was just, "What?" And he's like, "Have fun." So
Oh yeah.
It always
Again,
sucks whenever you're at the
yeah.
party and you accidentally drink the PCP cup, and it's just like, man,
Yeah.
fuck.
That's so real.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah, remember, that's almost exactly what happened to the discoverer of LSD as well. He synthesized it, not quite by accident. He was experimenting with different forms of a similar
I love
molecule.
this story. Yeah.
Yeah, he got several drops on his skin, and then as he was going home on his bike, he started tripping balls.
Yeah, like his notes are like he's like, so yeah, I have left the laboratory on my bicycle, and then by the time he gets home, he's like,
the dragons are
shit.
back.
The dragons,
Yeah,
the colors are yelling at me.
yeah.
I can taste purple. I can
Yeah,
taste
yeah.
it brown.
So he ingested 0.25 milligrams of substance, which he estimated to be a small dose, but was actually 10 times more than necessary to induce psychedelic effect.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, he was the first time user, so he was the best.
Yeah.
Champion.
Yeah.
That's what
He
you
asked-
They
he
don't
asked
make
his
scientists
laboratory
like they
assistant-
used to, man.
Yeah, no. Scientists today don't do drugs ever and always
Yeah.
obey the law.
I blame the guys who fucked with the Demon Core for why scientists are so skittish now, because they were like, I
no.
can use I can use a
No,
screwdriver."
actually.
Scientists are crazy. They're literally
No. Well, actually, what changed science and made all the bureaucrats enforce their stupid safety rules on us is the Apollo incidents.
Oh, wait, wait. Oh,
It's when
are you talking about
Apollo got
Apollo
free of
1?
his cage,
Apollo
and
1.
the humans almost found out that the Greek gods were actually real.
Yeah.
By the way, you posted the Glocka.
Yeah.
I fucking hate this thing. I don't know why. I just I have no logical reason, but I just fucking hate Die Glocke. Like, he has so many other cooler, like, Nazi Wunderweapons. And it's like, you make this
Stupid.
bell?
It's just stupid. It's just stupid. But also, it is fundamental for the secret space program, which I just thoroughly enjoy. So
Okay,
That just reminded...
let's for a
Yeah,
second
let's get
focus on
back.
the cake, and then we can get distracted
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Me
summarizing,
when I'm
like,
leering at girls' asses on the beach. Sorry.
summarizing, because I actually have discovered I do not like having an audience where I talk alone for that long.
Well, I mean, we're all
Uh,
listening to
It's a good thing you
We-
decided to
Yeah,
make this into a cooking
I know
show.
you're
Then.
listening. That's kind of the problem. It's like a lot of pressure, you know.
No,
Ah.
I know exactly what you mean. I
That's
can very much
Why would you
empathize
know
with your situation there.
Well, as I was saying, so pretty much, this guy, son of the previous dictator, starts like the fascist organization of Spanish history. And his sister, also an important figure in all this, is made head of the women's section, sección femenina, feminine section, technically, but the women's section of the organization, La Falange. So, at the start of everything, the group was rather small, clandestine, basically because they had to. Didn't have many members, and given the habitual violent escapades, they were kind of forced to act in secret, with the exception of the women's section, because women were considered less dangerous, or at least less conspicuous.
What a mistake that was.
Oh yeah, that's what, pretty much, yeah. So that's how things go for a while, until the start of the Spanish Civil War. At which point the popularity and the number of members pretty much skyrockets. Like hundreds of thousands of people join at once. But there is a small problem with that, which is that the founder and the pretty much the culture leader of the organization, Jose Antonio, had been months before the start of the Civil War arrested for attempting an assassination, and was imprisoned and soon to be executed.
Nice.
And in fact, that is exactly what happened. He was executed and he died.
Yay!
So what happened?
A good fascist.
The heads of the organization decided to hide that fact. At this point, José Antonio, Primo de Rivera, becomes el ausente, the absent one. That's how he is referred in documents and announcements from then on. And pretty much they began to conspiring to hide the fact that he is in fact very much dead. And his sister, the Gerbos Stardina, in the worst way possible, is one of an important figure in maintaining these rules.
What point in the story does Pan's Labyrinth happen?
I think like a bit after. Um, I think the labyrinth is Jose Antonio.
God damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
I'm
Wow.
Like-
waiting for the cake, for how the cake plays into this like cover up
Oh,
operation.
it's pretty much just an excuse to talk.
The cake
To
has
talk about
nothing to
theory
do
and
with it.
history.
Oh, pretty much. No. It's
Oh,
just
fuck
a
off.
recipe that, I mean, well, it is tangentially related in the sense that this is a recipe made as verbatim, as described in a fascist magazine for the women's section, which, as I mentioned, pretty much carried the
I
organization.
came for cake and I got a history lesson. God damn.
Yes,
Um,
fuck you.
You have to
You're
tie this
going
back
to
in.
learn, and you're going to like it. By the way, the oven is preheated.
You
Oh,
have to
that's
tie
good.
this back in. Bake a gun into the cake.
Yeah. I'm canceling my Patreon.
Oh no! Go full like Grandma Beagle mode and just put a hacksaw in the cake.
Fascist cake is what I tap, and then a socialist comes out, actually.
Yes.
Damn.
Is the way that it plays in is that that El Absente is also absent from the cake.
yeah, he hasn't
The
been put in
relevant of
cake.
El Absente is absent from the story of the cake.
Yes, indeed. That is.
Oh,
the way-
that's
I
the
mean,
sense in which the cake is el absente, because the cake is absent from
That
the
is true.
story.
There is no yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
leave it
Oh, by
together
the
in
way,
end.
By the way, I posted the House Hippo video.
Yeah,
I saw on
can't watch
TikTok.
it. I can't watch it because
Yeah, no, you can watch it after the stream. It's a great video. Once she finally gets up, it's like he's in trouble.
Hippos are very unpredictable. You can't. Yeah, he's fucked. He's gonna die from this.
Yeah.
I can predict that she's gonna attack him. That's
Yeah.
pretty predictable.
I've found another thing that I'm just. Damn. That's certainly a
Brain
fucking
of-
piece of art.
Oh, I saw this. This is so fucked up.
Well, no, I mean,
Uh,
it's intentional and it was like, planned, done with permission from everybody. It's just, damn, that's a clever piece of art.
yeah, I heard about
I
this.
mean,
I really like.
I mean,
this.
on the one hand, it's like really fucking cool, but like, on the other hand, it's like this is fucking dark.
I don't see it
Not
as
that I
that
don't
dark.
like
I
it.
see it as a little bit of transhumanism. I quite like it. It's art. He persists as art.
I mean, if that's what he wanted, then
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But like, I guess I'm thinking about how like after like I forgot what school shooting it was, which is fucking wild. But there was a school shooting here, in the States, and the parents of one of the kids that was killed, like, made an AI version of himself to talk about the dangers of like guns and gun control and stuff.
Oh,
And it was
yeah,
just-
wasn't that a fucking Super Bowl ad as well? It was
oh
fucking
god,
crazy, dude.
yeah.
And this was like fucking 5 years ago, before AI was any good either.
Oh.
Yeah, this was a while ago. It was like
Yikes.
so fun. So like anytime I see like after someone dies, like they get like Tupac Shakur.
I think it might actually be that
Ah, fuck! I forgot.
bull shooting
Ah.
that Alex Jones got sued over.
Maybe. Oh God, yes, because they reimagined their kid as a teenager. Because like when he was murdered, he was a little kid, and they like imagined him
Okay,
as a teenager.
Here's the thing, though. I don't begrudge the parents this. Like yeah, sure, but like if they, I understand that you
I
could
mean,
argue this
I
is
understand the
instrumentalizing
grieving
the death of their
process,
child, but
yeah.
it's also like drawing awareness to something in quite a visceral way. To be like, this is what this person would have been that they never got to be because of this. So I'm not that freaked out by this, to be entirely honest with you.
I mean, to be honest, you're probably right. I just have some base. I don't know. I have some base visceral feelings about hijacking.
I mean, the thing is,
like
the
like
kid,
somebody.
You hate
the
the
kid like
undead.
turns to the camera and goes like, "What the hell, America? Why didn't you fix this thing that killed me?" And this way of parading, puppeteering your kid's dead body to send a message doesn't sit well with me. They could have like shown him the way he would have grown up and not have him used as a mouthpiece directly.
I understand what you're saying, but I will also say, what would his? I mean, how likely do you think it is that that wasn't his opinion? You know what I mean? Like, how likely do you think it is that it was like that he was like, actually, I love school shootings.
I mean, that's
Is that
nobody's
anyone's
right
call
to say.
to make thing?
Yeah. I
If
agree
it's
with
anyone's
Seator.
call to
Nobody
make,
has
it's the
right
parents.
to.
If it's anyone's call to make, it's the parents.
No. I think no. The only person who has a right to say how they would think is the person themselves, and sadly, that person is dead, so you can't get their opinion on it.
And
really,
at that
saying
moment,
he would have said this and portraying him saying it. I think.
yeah, it's like you're taking somebody who sadly was murdered as a child, up aging them to be a teenager. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
and
like,
then, would
then
you have
putting
felt
your-
different
putting
if they'd
yours-
gotten an actor to say this? Because that happens all the time. It's movies. And
I think
shit.
that it's the whole depiction of a person. Like again,
Yeah,
like
I
it's
think-
not my call to make.
Well,
but
also,
still,
also with
feel the
movies, there's
same.
a basis. With movies, there's a basis of like a level of actor and fiction. You know, even with
Well,
like
but this
I
is
mean,
also
biopics and
no,
stuff
no,
like
no, no,
that.
no, 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 no. I feel like even if they made a biography of this kid, right, a biopic, and the actor turned and said like, rattled off the parents' talking point list that they put forward in Congress or some shit, I would also find that crass.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
no,
sure
no,
is
no, I
crass,
agree,
but
I
I
agree.
just don't. It doesn't really create a visceral reaction in me. It's just sort of.
yeah.
I mean,
Also, I do
who's
find
to
it
know-
very
Go ahead.
different. Sorry, I do find it very different from the art expo, where it was basically explicitly like the guy
Yeah, it's
in
a whole
life.
different universe.
No, that's a whole different thing. That's purely consensual.
Yeah,
He
okay.
was like, "Hey, take my stem cells and brain matter and make an artistic piece after I pass away." Whereas with the kid, you know, who was murdered, is like, you don't know how that kid was going to grow up. Maybe when he turned into a teenager, he I don't know, got really into cars. Or he got really
Do you
into
think
guns,
he would
or he
become
became
a
a
school
furry.
shooter? Maybe he would have become
Really
a
into
school
guns?
shooter. Like I understand, but that's kind of the point, right? Because the kid never gets to do this. That's the
I
problem.
mean, for all we know, the kid could
Yeah,
have had gender dysphoria.
But it
Who
couldn't
knows?
have. But it couldn't have. It couldn't have, because it died. The kid died.
yeah,
So that's
think
kind
there's
of
a
the
better
point.
way to
I
say
feel
it.
like that is
Before.
that. I feel like this to represent this in a way that's sort of, I guess, pushing the envelope in that way is very much commensurate with the how macabre the situation as such is. Like, I'm not sure that's like an intentional artistic statement behind that, but I find it,
Yeah.
let's say, appropriate if it creates such a reaction of disgust in you to the reality of what happened.
I just think there's
Yeah,
more
at
effective ways to do it.
at the base level, you know, this kid was unjustly, unfairly, horrifically murdered.
Yeah.
So all the futures he could have had are gone now, and that's really the monstrous thing that's going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, still.
Okay, I can kind of get where you're coming from. That the parents chose a particular, setting and lifestyle of what they thought their kid might become. At the end of the day, this kid was fucking murdered.
Yeah. Yeah.
And was snuffed out, and that's the main issue.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of I mean, sure, but we were talking about the. Yeah, I think maybe this discussion is over. Perhaps I don't know. I feel like we've all said what we needed to say.
Alex hasn't made a cake yet, so get on that.
Oh yeah, it's
How
still
long
there,
are
but
we waiting for the cake to be done?
Yeah, women.
like,
The fucking men are
3
done
minutes?
discussing. Where's
Let
dinner?
me just say, Alex, is that if I was in that place you're at right now, I'd come up behind you and give you a good 5-finger slap on the ass.
All right, okay.
Okay.
Tell us more about fascists.
Be like, where's that cake, woman?
Let's take a chill.
Actually, I probably wouldn't do that. I'd be in the other room being like, Alex, is the cake ready yet? I'm playing Schedule 1 right now. I'm mixing. I made Grandpa's cum.
Why is this stream turning into fucking marrying Alex roleplay?
Have you seen the food?
Without Alex's consent.
Yeah, have
That's
you
a
seen
good
the
point,
food she's
actually.
Have you
made?
seen
That's
it?
a good point.
Oh, also,
That's
I mean, I
excellent.
don't know if you're aware of this if you're playing Schedule 1, but the Oblivion remake is out.
Yeah.
Oh no, I saw that. That was a shadow drop. So like, I went to the Steam page, and of course you fucking bought it.
I've played it. I love it. The characters
I
look
got
a bit
as far
goofy.
as putting it in my cart.
The character faces sometimes look a little goofy, I found, but not as much as I expected from like the example footage. I am just out of the sewers. The Imperial City is extremely empty in a way that I feel like it didn't feel like in the original Oblivion, but I have like in the meantime played Cyberpunk. So
Cetor, by the way, Cetor, I don't know if you have Fanatical over there in Austria, but on Fanatical, it's
I don't know what the fuck that is.
it's a third party. It's a third party site. I bought a lot of games from them, and it's like 17% off, so you can get you can get it for like 30.
It at all. It's not the
Tell me about the cake.
price tag that's the problem. It's my fucking principles, man.
I love that your
yeah,
principals
well, you know
still
what?
permitted you to put it in the card. I'll tell you
Yeah.
how much it recaptures the feeling of playing Oblivion. I will see you break.
No,
I have done something.
please.
Yes.
Something.
Please
Uh,
stop back.
What have you
I,
done?
I thought that
Wait,
I
what,
tried
Alex,
to
what
eat
have you
what
done?
I thought was one of these things that flaked off the cake.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Was it baking paper?
It was baking paper. Yes.
Yeah.
So hang on, this is now
as well.
done. The cake is like finished.
Yes,
Wow,
yes,
that
yes,
just happened?
Are you serious?
Yep.
Like chemistry just happened?
This is just the cake.
Yes.
The
That's-
cake of kings.
Well, no. Let's not dump on it. Things could look not like how they taste. This could be amazing.
Is it?
You're
What's
going-
it taste
you
like?
give me another recipe. I thought of something. I'm going to make a
No.
yearling.
Tell me how the fucking we gotta do dailies as well. What the fuck is the cake like?
You need to cool down for a
can't
bit. So
do dailies.
while you cool down, you.
Why
I'm
can't we
going
do
to make-
dailies?
Yeah,
I
because
can't
I'm
wait to do
playing
dailies.
Balatro to because I'm playing Balatro to distract
So,
myself.
For
Your
dailies,
50,000
Now you're not
Balatro
giving me
runs.
my
Because
dailies
I'm
fixed.
playing Balatro to distract myself from Oblivion in my shopping cart.
You can't. Just show me
Okay,
a-
I have a conversation topic then. Who's ready for the new fucking Star Wars?
Is there a
there's
new
a
Star Wars?
Yeah, not the fucking movie franchise, the fucking ridiculous defense project.
What?
Sorry?
Oh god damn it!
Yeah,
I heard
the
about
Strategic Defense Initiative, also nicknamed the Star Wars.
Oh
Uh,
no.
And the fucking Trump is going for it again.
These
Let's
people
go.
are so stupid.
Let's get those fucking aliens.
Yeah. The Golden Dome, they want to call it, bro.
They want to militarize space because they like the aesthetic of space.
Holy
war.
shit! Sorry. This is worse than I thought. The companies that they're like funding to do this is SpaceX, Anduril, and Palantir. Oh my god!
This is why do we need like I remember back in the 1970s and 1980s there were like sci-fi
You
novels
remember?
made
Damn.
about like the Soviet Union like secretly like deploying nuclear missiles in space. And that was like such a big hard on for like patriotic like nationalist Americans. And they
You just
still want to
admitted
fucking do
remembering
that
the
shit,
70s.
even though there's no fucking country who
Yeah,
has
it's,
any interest.
I
Yeah,
I mean,
like
it's
who has
that's
any
you know,
interest.
possibly the
Isn't
best
there a
the best
fucking
thing that
international
Ronald Reagan
treaty
did.
against nukes in space?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes,
what
there
does
is.
America
Yes,
give
there
a
is.
fuck?
Yeah,
It's a good
it's
point.
one of the no. It's one of the very few our version parts of the Outer Space Treaty that America also signed as
Yeah,
well.
but again, you know, like what
Yeah,
what
of
do they
There
give
is
a
no
fuck?
fucking reason
do
to
they care, yeah.
militarize space.
I
Outside
think,
also-
of like
thus far I have only
espionage.
ever thought that maybe the one nation that would potentially, not out of like being clever, but out of pure power play, would like try to sabotage space by creating a Kessler syndrome type deal would be Russia. After
Yeah.
like the whole
just
Ukraine
like
thing. But
dumping a bunch of trash into
done it.
space.
They haven't done anything of the sort. So it feels to me like
I mean, we don't know.
yeah, we don't
We don't know, 'cause it's
they might
really
have the
easy to
capability
do.
to like hold the world hostage with it, but it's also like
Yeah.
they haven't done that.
Yeah, they might have been. They could have been just packing like the half a kilogram of C4 on every satellite that they
Yeah,
launched.
but like
since,
again,
the
it's they've
90s.
not like triggered it. They've not used it to threaten anyone. It's like
Yeah.
it might as well not exist.
Yeah.
Well,
if it
I mean,
does.
Russia's-
and now
Russia's
you
not
have
the enemy
America
now.
who might do this out of stupidity.
Oh man, I'm
No,
so ready.
no. They wouldn't do that. No, you don't understand what this is meant to be. This is meant to be like a system of like weaponized satellites to, shoot down other people's satellites, not the US's satellites.
Yeah, exactly, and that's
Yeah.
gonna make it out of stupidity because they're gonna create.
I fucking hate this timeline. I hate that the fact that my country is the fucking. I mean, at least we pretended to be the good guys. Now we're just the fucking bad guys.
I feel like they're still
There are no
pretending
good
to
guys.
be the good guys. I feel like that's still going
No,
on.
well,
Yeah,
they're trying to. They stopped pretending. They're just saying it now.
Yeah, I feel like that is
I
pretending.
mean, the United
just-
States is.
They
the
didn't
United
used
States
to
has
not
always,
do
always
bad
pretended.
things and just like it's the exact same shit. It's
Well,
just
they're
they're
trying to
more
hide
stupid.
it.
They're dumber.
Well, after
Yeah.
World War II, we were just like, hey, we can just be evil.
Are you making
Yeah.
aioli?
yes.
Ah, moltes gracias.
Oh yeah, people are freaking out about how.
L'altre dia, já estava we eat once a month with a friend of mine at his house.
Nicht Deutsch, du Hurensohn.
And he said, and he called it aioli francese.
Also, because
They just fuck
I
off.
found out Reagan wasn't the
Oh
only
yeah, it's
one
Pete.
to have
Fuck
a.
me.
Lo llamaba aioli francesa porque lo había hecho con huevo. Y porque él sabe que para mí eso no es aioli, es aioli francesa.
I was about to say, Alex, I have one of those things in Schedule 1. I use it to mix pills with.
I have one of those things in the Oblivion remake, actually.
You know what I don't have anymore? I just fucked up. I split it. I added too much oil.
Tito just
Yeah.
By the
definitely.
way,
Yes,
by the way,
No, I guess I did.
I learned it. I learned it in Schedule 1 because this tells you how aware I am of drugs. Is that if you mix weed with painkillers and Viagra, you get something called Grandpa's cum. And
Amazing.
apparently, it's wild.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Strategic Defense Initiative was, funnily enough, possibly one of the greatest contributions to laser science in history. To the point that I still have this great memory of me in as a fresh new undergrad in Birmingham, hearing two PhD students talking about the research, and one of them being like, "Oh yeah, I found this really cool." This really cool paper that solves exactly what we're talking about, etc., etc. And the other guy goes like, "Oh, wait, when was these written?" First guy, "When do you think? 85."
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was a good deal. Reagan was a geriatric, and they were just like, "Hey, you watched that movie Star Wars? Let's make it real."
I love the Star
Yeah,
Wars.
yeah.
Yes, let's put $45 billion of funding over to the Star Wars program.
45
Oh, no,
million?
I,
No way.
Billion.
oh no, it was
Okay,
like
yeah.
billions. It was billions.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
but like, yeah, laser research is better because of this fucking scam.
Make
Oh,
it
yeah.
very hard. Just
Man, it's
fucking make it
almost
hard.
as if when
They're
you
only
pour
not hard
unspeakable
because of
amounts
this.
of money into like scientific research,
Yeah.
there are leaps in science. I am
yeah.
so mad
No.
that we're not doing this.
Yeah.
We,
And it
honestly,
led
we
to
as a
the
society
best
could be
fucking
like,
thing.
we could have like, I don't know, fucking become actual immortal laser furries by the year 2000 if
Yeah.
the money hadn't been wasted on like putting it in the pockets of investors and
Yeah.
and fucking doing war.
What's funny to me right now is people are discovering that Trump has like a spiritual advisor who's a fucking lunatic.
This is
Yeah.
not surprising.
No, because like his spiritual advisor is saying that like all proper Americans must make a trip to Israel, in order to
The
enter the
Hajj.
kingdom of heaven. Yeah, in order to enter the kingdom of heaven. But like little did apparently a lot of people know this happened back during the Reagan era. Reagan not only had a spiritual advisor, he had a tarot card reader on
he had
call.
He held seances in the White House, didn't he?
Yeah, he held tarot card seances in the White House.
Yeah.
That not only went as far as like things like SDI and SALT treaties, but like when he would take his flights, like when he if he was headed off to some country to talk to some politician, like the tarot card reader he had, I forgot her fucking name, but like if the tarot cards didn't read right, he would not take the flight.
Man,
that is
real
how
Roman
the
Emperor
entire
shit.
Roman Empire was run. It's
Yeah.
like Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Why
Not to
should
mention-
I
okay.
not a wizard?
Not to mention beforehand, before he became president, he was governor of California, defunded all of the psychiatric asylums, thus releasing a bunch of very mentally unwell people who had no resources out into California. And before that, he was an actor who liked to have unconditional sex with a lot of women, even though he was married. And yeah, he's an evil guy. I don't know.
Yep.
I don't understand why people idolize Reagan so much because he was fucking pure evil.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's just
Also-
a thing.
He's
Yeah.
Republican. That's part of the appeal.
I do
Oh,
want
no,
to.
No,
I
no,
do
no.
want
When
to.
when he was
Yeah,
younger, he was very. His father was very pro-union and very progressive, but when he became an actor and started making a ton of money, he changed.
Many such
And,
cases.
Yeah, it's almost like
Also-
money is poison. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Sorry,
don't mean to keep telling you.
I did want to mention my favorite part of this SDI, which was actually like one of the big projects in the Strategic Defense Initiative, the fucking Project Excalibur, aka
Oh.
what if we used a nuke to pump up a lasing medium and then use the X-rays generated by the nuke to cause a lasing reaction, creating an X-ray laser to just shoot at like satellites or ICBMs or whatever.
All right, that's
Wait,
fucking terrifying, but
Yeah, that's fucking terrifying. So they explode a nuke in space, focus
Yep.
the energy through an X-ray at a
No,
particular target.
Okay, so a laser functions by making a medium, basically putting all of the atoms or a lot of the atoms in a medium into like a energized state, and then since you have if you have like light passing through that medium of the same energy as the amount of energy that these atoms are energized by, as the light passes through, it will cause the emission of more light. So what you do is you use the nuke to both make the medium energized and also generate the X-rays to initiate this process. And the big question is, yeah.
How could that
Sorry?
go wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
How could that
And
fuck up?
the big concept was that, like, okay, you don't, in theory, for lasers, you want the lasing medium to, survive the process, but you don't actually need it to survive. You just need it to survive long enough.
You know
But
what?
yeah.
I understand why Warhammer 40K came about in this time period.
Yeah, exactly. However, the best part of all of this is that there's 3 enormous spin-offs of this project that became insanely important afterwards. 3D, like a 3D holographic imaging,
Okay.
aerogel.
Okay, yeah, I know aerogel.
Yeah.
That's a really cool thing.
And
By the way, the cake is ready.
and a lot of X-ray tomography techniques that are now essentially the backbone of medical imaging, especially for detection of very small cancerous masses.
Yeah, everything can have a huge number of very unexpected applications. This is why research is always good.
Yeah.
But it's always good.
I always love it. I always love to
pro-
introduce it like just as the most batshit insane, useless thing, and then you just pull out actually an advanced cancer research, materials research, laser research,
Okay, so
imaging,
Hello.
optics
I need to
research.
see- I need to see this.
How is the
no
bread,
joke,
Alex?
no joke.
How is the bread?
Yes.
How is this
Okay,
flat
we're
bread?
about to find out.
Munch, munch, munch.
Pause,
Oh, I
chat.
timed that.
You know,
Let the flavors soak in.
as a cake, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I was about to say it's pretty flat for a cake.
What
Yes,
with the aioli?
it very much is pretty flat.
How is it as a bread?
Yeah.
It needs more salt.
What do you think
What?
it'd be good? Do you think it'd be good if you like mix it with like a marmalade or a jam?
Or aioli?
Are
Maybe,
you going more savory with it?
I think it needs to go more savory. Like, it could go sweet, but honestly, it's not sweet at all. It does not contain any. Wait a second. Does not contain any sugar at all.
Doesn't even have
So I'm
sugar.
going savory.
A savory cake sounds
What kind of
interesting.
cake
I'd
is
like
this
to try
shit?
that.
Speaking of cake,
But no, really quick,
cake
I just
being
want to mention
flat.
Watchmaster.
Do you guys remember when Kate Middleton's wedding
okay.
was on, and the entire nation of the UK was obsessed with the ass of her sister,
What?
except
What?
she
That
didn't
sounds
have
really
one?
fucking creepy. That
She
sounds
didn't have an
really
ass, or
creepy.
she didn't have a sister.
I mean, look at her at the time. This is
Oh,
the
she has
ass
no-
the UK was idolizing.
That's no ass. That's
What?
That's negative ass. Oh, that's a cake. I like.
Oh, I
that
love
cake.
girls with long
Is
backs.
this? What?
Yeah, that's a savory cake. That those pieces inside are bacon and it contains like chunks
Oh,
of
that
hard-boiled
looks
egg,
tasty.
and
I'd
it's
eat that cake.
incredibly
Matt, I don't-
tasty. It's called pizza di Pasqua for some reason. Easter pizza. I have no
That's-
idea why.
By the way,
of course
when
it's
I'm
named
talking about
that.
cake, I'm not talking about what Seator posted. I'm talking about what Mateo posted.
Yeah.
Okay, so how's it holding up there?
I could do it. Like, I'm very hungry, so I'm going to. Like it's like okay, yeah, it's like I don't know. It's the IT better cracker.
So this
Right,
is
so-
kind of a wash up.
Fascists
either
can't
good-
make cake. This is what
pretty
we've
much.
discovered here experimentally.
Don't
Yeah, we found
blasphemy
we found out
the
that fascists can't make
parents.
anything that is enjoyable or creative or good.
I mean, it can be enjoyed as long as you add stuff onto it. Well,
To be honest,
But-
this
Right,
looks like something you would eat in the trenches fighting a war against like the Russian, like the free democratic state of Russia as
Yeah.
as like francophone Spain.
All right, please rate this cake using your rating system.
The rating
Definitely
system
not
is specialized on dumplings.
You can't misappropriate that shit.
It's illegal.
Also, Mateo, I wanted to mention
Mhm.
because he talked about how these laser programs from the '80s helped so much. This actually directly helped my dad because my dad has leukemia, and part of his treatment was they literally were using some of this technology to like blast away his fucking tumors.
Depends on if it was X-ray or if it was proton or if it was positrons.
I don't know, but
Just
I
let
just-
him share the
I'll
anecdote,
just-
Matt.
I'll just wait. No,
They launched
yes,
him
it's
into
cool.
space.
I just want to emphasize that today, one of the more, let's say it's more advanced, so it's a bit rarer to be used. Types of like cancer treatment is literally shooting people with antimatter.
Sorry.
I mean, I'm not sure if that's how he was treated, but his leukemia is in full remission, and he lives a perfectly normal
Hell
life.
yeah! Shouts out
Very
to
based, very
MDev's
cool.
dad,
Yeah.
friend of the show.
Shout out to
Even-
MDev's
even though-
dad's leukemia.
Even though he's lived long enough to like travel to other countries to meet women, but anyway, that's a completely different topic.
You know, I'm going to say something, and I don't care who it pisses off. I'm against cancer. I think cancer is shit.
Goddamn.
Controversial.
Yeah.
I must
Controversial
agree. I must
opinion
agree.
here.
Because we are
Yeah.
a progressive
I don't
podcast here. We don't shy away from being militant about this sort of thing. I mean,
Some
you know,
people
it's,
say
you
no.
know what? It's
Show
now.
me-
It's,
I
it's a-
being
some
misogynist.
people say cancer. Other people say the slow march of evolution.
It's funny that we say all this, but it is a political statement to be against cancer because the Trump administration is pro-cancer. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, I wanted to mention I posted it. Project Orion.
Yeah.
That's
Good
huge,
old
by
Project
the
Ryan.
way.
Is my favorite lunatic project. Just
Hang
using nuclear bombs to travel near the speed of light is so fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I
But yeah, no,
I want to take
on the
this
blasting people
conversation
with
back for a
antimatter.
moment to this
Oh no, that's
person called
proton.
Pippa Middleton for a second. Like looking from afar, she seems to have a pretty face.
Mm.
She appears to be pretty. But it is such an indictment on the nation of England, as if it needed more of those indictments. That the photo of the Pippa Middleton Arse Appreciation Society, first of all, ass not arse.
And fucking
Yeah.
200,000 likes, by the way.
There is no images of the arse. There's just this thing here where she's wearing a fucking dress. And you can vaguely see something. And I
An
am
enormous dress.
angry about this. You know what? The English disappoint me frequently. Are you adding egg to the aioli?
I mean,
Are you serious?
sorry?
Yeah.
Are you adding egg to the aioli?
Oh no, I'm making something else. I'm sorry. I'm making an omelet because I'm hungry. Like,
By the way,
I'm not,
I've located a tabloid
it's not going to be
article.
my dinner, and it's
By the
not
way,
going to
Where
be...
it says-
I posted a video you can watch afterwards of my opinion of the English.
Yeah.
Here's a photo that got posted that I found on Google. I mean, with the caption, "Here's a workout you can do to achieve Pippa Middleton's perfect behind," and this is the photo attached to the article.
I mean, she's got a nice ass, but it's
Then
not like
in
a
this
dick.
They're
one,
not an
it's-
ambitious people.
In this one, yeah, they're
Shit,
not
where
ambitious
is-
people. In this one,
I mean,
it looks
for
nice.
a sedentary,
Yeah.
for a sedentary people who don't move most of their lives, this is a very nice ass.
In this image specifically, it's nice.
There it is. I found it.
But it's
Yeah,
I feel like that's a lot of hype.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to repost that, Mateo. Or
Oh,
wait,
was
I
that-
could just
no.
click on.
Yeah.
It also
No,
has
it's not
some links which
embed.
don't embed.
Yeah.
Damn,
Unfortunately,
they're firing lasers at cancer. Nice.
no. This is firing antimatter beams at cancer.
In Hitachi did this.
Yeah.
Like from
Wait,
Tekken.
wait.
Like,
So
from
Guy from
vibrators.
Wait,
Is it
so
I
new
remember-
antimatter
Medical
vibrator
accelerators.
technology? They're gonna shoot antimatter at the clitoris.
Yeah.
wait, so I remember
and
from
they,
I
could they
remember
find
from
anti-clitoris matter? No, actually, that would annihilate. it.
Wait, so I
Yeah.
remember from reading
I
the Da
think you
Vinci
want to
Code.
annihilate the clitoris.
So I remember from the Da Vinci Code is like if
No,
you
this is an
deploy,
ancient demon.
yeah, if you deploy antimatter anywhere where there is matter, they both
Yep.
annihilate each other. Thus, all of Rome gets blown up.
Yep. That's the point.
Yes.
Yeah, but you have
That's
to
the point.
find
But instead of like
anti-life.
using grams of it, you
They
use
want to
you
blow
count
up
like
the Rome inside
you know.
of UM Death.
Yeah. Instead of
So
blowing
the
up
fir-
Rome,
so-
you blow up the cancer
So
by
most
timing
likely,
exactly when it slows down. Essentially.
So what you're telling me is that when I eventually get colon cancer, they're gonna fire antimatter at my colon
Up
and
your ass,
blow
yeah.
out my ass.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
blow it
Exactly.
out.
Gun
You're
in
gonna
your-
blow
in your
up
ass.
the Rome in your colon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Vatican, the Pope.
Well,
of-
depends.
the
Depends. You
Pope
can
of the
ask for
colon.
the antimatter. You can ask for the pure proton beam. Yeah, you know,
Oh,
there's
no,
different
Not on
no,
beams.
American insurance, you can't.
Yeah.
if I'm gonna die, I
in the future,
don't
all
care.
American medical treatments have to involve some kind of weapon. They can't. There's no like.
Up your ass.
Yeah. No, it's what's it called? What if we reframe healthcare as like body defense?
No.
Wait,
There we go.
explaining surgery to an American.
No,
Imagine
what
if you shoot the
what
cancer.
Yeah.
what I have to do is that, like, I tell the doctor, look, I have a Mossberg 500, so just give me an antimatter shotgun shell, and I'll just like put it up my ass, and I'll just pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, I've been actually recently. I've been to like a seminar presented by a PhD student
this
that's
topic.
researching about this topic. Well, not shoving things up your ass,
Yeah, that's what I'm
but
adopting.
about putting cancer patients in the way of like a particle accelerator beam, and they showed that actually, if you fire the beam, the particle beam, for with more particles per second, so more intense, but for shorter periods of time, for some reason, it just deals less damage to your flesh, but more damage to cancers.
I
So,
love
like,
that in
oh,
100
yeah.
years they will just be able to zap cancer easily.
yeah,
And now
basically
we're doing
they're gonna just
chemo.
put you. Yeah, they're just gonna put you in the fucking LHC for just
Yeah,
like a
just-
nanosecond.
I just love how they figured out that like full auto is worse
They're
than
gonna
a
put
three
a
than a
conveyor
three
belt of
shot.
patients through the LHC.
Yeah, it's just like a 3-shot burst is better than full auto.
And this one is a joke for all the physicists out there that are watching this stream. Finally, a useful application for the LHC.
I understand this joke, and I'm not a physicist.
Good job.
I also think the LHC is cool. That's the useful
LHC
application of
is
the LHC
cool.
is that it's big and it's cool, and they should. You know what? They should be able to build an even bigger one. That's just an
100%
obvious-
agreed.
I forgot the name of the YouTuber, but he's done
they
videos.
shouldn't take away money from the rest of from other fields of science. They should just give us more money to
It's
build
so
the big
insane.
thing.
It is genuinely so insane how little money goes into science.
Yeah.
Like compared to like the general amount of money that is like put into genuinely, actually, completely useless shit.
Yeah. It's like
I think. Yeah, I think the YouTuber is called like Broccoli Boy or Broccoli something. He did a
Bobby
full
Broccoli.
series. Yeah, he did a full series on the Texas LHC, and I'm just so fucking mad. We could have massive.
Superconducting super collider.
Yeah, we could have
This
had
is-
like a continent size.
This is
I
how
wish
you
Like-
the
know.
LHC could
This is how you know that world leaders have never played like any sort of 4X or Paradox
They gotta
map
play
games.
Oh yeah, they haven't
Where
played
you have to
Stellaris.
focus
They
on
haven't played
science to-
Stellaris.
They would understand how good science is, how OP maxing science is.
Yeah, Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah, goddamn, we could have like mining colonies on Pluto.
Jesus
Where
Christ.
where
Sorry, I'm just.
where,
What
where
the
it's
fuck?
like instead of being in South Dakota, I'm on Pluto.
My
I'm like,
lord.
God damn, I'm mining fucking superconducting metals out here on Pluto.
That's
For
like the
context,
distance between
Meanwhile,
Switzerland
all
and
you
Berlin or
Romy-
some shit.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
all you warmies are
Why?
living on Mars and Earth.
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
your
also-
natural-
for context, the collision energy at this planet collider would have been 4 times, or 3, closer to 3 probably, times what is the highest energy achievable in the LHC, and the luminosity would have been about, I think, 3 orders of magnitude higher, meaning 3 orders of magnitude more particles per second would have collided.
Damn.
It would
Yeah.
seem like a joke to call the LHC large if this existed.
Yeah,
No,
I
no,
did.
the SSC. But like beyond that, they were planning a multinational.
Well, it's ridiculous. Like in terms of size, it's ridiculous.
Well, weren't they also planning like a multinational between the United States and Canada of a like super
no.
collider?
It's actually one order of magnitude lower, but as of the high luminosity LHC upgrade that they have just completed, and actually I think they turned the beam back on today. The
Nice.
LHC.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
We weren't talking about the LHC anymore.
No, I know. I was just comparing it to the previous one. But yeah, sorry.
Well, yeah. The SSC is a canceled project. It's not working
Yeah.
anymore, unfortunately, because of fucking politics.
Well,
Whether
to be fair, it's like it's a ridiculous size.
Well, also you get into state politics because Texas was to be the state that had the SSC, and then you gotta get into Texas politics to try to fund it.
I won't.
And if you know Texas, it's no, just don't.
I refuse.
Just don't get into Texas. Yeah.
Damn, but they still did dig 22.5 kilometers of tunnel.
They tried.
Billion.
They fucking tried. 84. 87
Wait,
kilometers, 54 miles is not
got a
too
fourth?
shabby.
They got a fourth through it and just fucking quit.
Yep.
Yeah, they just fucking quit.
To be fair, okay, so to be fair, the largest part of this kind of project is the machine itself, right, in terms of money.
That's why it's called the
just 1/4, just 1/4 of the digging cost $2 billion.
Time
just
there's some things that are just too important.
Yeah.
You know what? Just drain the oil, put new oil in, and just let it keep going.
Damn it!
So true.
Is that today?
What?
Wait, what's Seator doing? What the fuck are you doing, Seator?
Time guesser.
Oh
my god!
This makes me angry.
That's so fucking
what the
funny.
fuck?
Okay, what the fuck is happening? Okay, we gotta find out where this is.
Easter and the Pope.
They're selling...
I wonder what day it is.
You got fucking IKEA
rupees?
furniture.
Yeah, it might be rupees.
Yeah, RP. It looks RP. It looks like
this,
it's saying RP.
Yeah,
this may be
wait,
India.
it's a nun wearing Crocs? Wait, is nun wearing
AirPods?
Be Indian. I think.
No.
That is not Crocs.
Those are fucking Crocs. I know those. That's not in India. This isn't fucking.
Croc.
They look like Crocs.
Hello? No, they're not made of fucking rubber.
They're not made of rubber. They don't have. They're not edible.
And
they don't have the holes.
The guy is the guy from Game of Thrones.
Which one? The one in front of the one in the back.
Easter. So this is
Julian Richards.
That's a guy from the two popes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Pope is standing right there, so we know it was before this year.
Okay.
By the way, if I may point it out,
yeah,
Al-Kitab is Arabic for the book.
That's true.
Damn.
This is true.
But it's written in. It's
written in Latin.
Roman.
I
though.
think this is. This is a bookstore. This is a bookshop.
Yeah, this is a bookstore.
Are there any other places you can think of that have RP as currency?
There's probably. I mean, this seems to be
what currency does Pakistan use?
Wait, what currency does Philippines use? They use pesos, but
yeah.
What's the symbol for pesos?
I would say
probably not RP.
And we can't look it up. There's a sign. There's a yellow sign to the left.
Okay. Wait. Could this be?
No chance.
Okay.
I know it's not Armenia.
I'm pretty sure this is also
no, Georgia.
This is very much not Georgia.
Yeah, they don't use Latin.
That might be Indian script.
Pakistan
sure.
also uses the rupee.
I feel like.
Did you just fucking Google you numbnut?
Stop Googling. We don't Google in this game.
Damn.
Well, no.
Pakistan
and India used to be
like
part of the same colony.
Deeply Christian sort of situation that's going on here. I'm not sure that this would be in Pakistan. Can we look at the trash cans?
Yeah, take a peek at those. Those are
Wait, I
Okay,
know.
obviously they recycle. They
Singapore.
recycle.
Does that say Derby?
Yeah, I mean, it
Oh,
looks like it could even be
could be
Cyrillic
Singapore.
script, but it's really
Wait, what's
it's impossible
what's
to tell.
Singapore's currency?
It's RP. Here, the currency.
Oh,
I
this
don't
is
suspect so.
very interesting. I'm
It would
digging
probably
this.
be in northern India somewhere because it looks kind of wealthy, I guess.
I mean, it had to be a Roman Catholic enclave in India,
Yeah,
which
I gotta
don't
say,
doubt.
her clothes look like she bought them that day.
Yeah, it's. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
I mean,
probably
I don't
because
doubt. I don't doubt that there's
this
like
could
Roman
be
Catholic
anywhere, though.
enclaves.
This could be.
Damn.
Indonesia? I would
Alright.
not
Damn.
have. I would not have.
I didn't know they used rupees. But yeah,
I didn't know that
see,
either.
I thought for a second that the vibe was Indonesian, but I discarded it upon closer thought.
Oh, what country is this?
For a
Uh,
fucking
Wait,
second, I thought
Turkish
this said
Republic of
Irish
Northern
Republic.
Cyprus.
Yeah, I
But
thought the same thing.
Keep your promise and the isolation of
Of the
Turkish
Turkish
Cyprus.
You know where this
Cypriot.
isn't? This isn't in Turkey. This is not in Turkey.
Yeah,
Is it
this is-
not
Nor
in Turkey?
nor in
And I
Cyprus.
also, I think it might be in the USA.
Yeah, I
Yes,
would
this
say,
might be.
like, most likely
yeah,
this is in New York. Yeah, there's a U.S. flag.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's
this
a U.S.
is
flag.
Oh, yeah.
definitely in New
Yeah.
York. Yeah, you got signs like that. That's definitely it's either New York or
I'm
Philadelphia.
going New York.
Why are you thinking
I think-
Philadelphia?
Philadelphia
By the
is
way-
also like what most people don't know is Philadelphia is also a
Discover
big,
the
melting
pride of
pot.
New York.
Okay, it's definitely.
Okay, yeah, it's obviously New York then, but Philadelphia also has a lot of culture as well, as does Chicago and Detroit.
Yeah, as do all. I thought
mean,
like maybe
it's
it's like a
bound to be
specifically
like
Greek
Manhattan,
Cypriot
right?
city.
No, this is definitely Manhattan. When you have buildings like that, that's definitely
That's where you
Manhattan.
do a parade as well, you
Yeah.
know. Adopt a Greyhound. by the way.
Manhattan has the big office buildings. Brooklyn is more like 3-4 story brick houses. Bronx is
Cameras and
more,
camcorders, but
Yeah,
Sony
I was about to
Sony
say.
PDAs. That looks like more like a PDA than a
Oh
phone.
wait,
though.
that looks like
Are you talking like 2009?
no. That's
Yeah.
B&H. That's B&H. B&H Photo. They're a
Okay.
famous camera shop in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where
in
are
Manhattan
they?
anyway.
They're
I
below.
doubt we're gonna get it.
I think they're below 14th Street. B&H Photography is a big.
That would put it quite
Uh,
far down.
Also, I would like to add something
Yeah.
about the fascist cake. It's been a while since I started eating it, and I try to fill up on it. And I mean, it is technically food, it is edible, but I do have to say it has filled me with a sense of sadness. A manner
Oh, I thought you were
of,
gonna say. I thought you were gonna say a sense of national pride.
no, a manner of grief. Like it is really a depressing food item.
Just imagine fascists get to eat that
How
every
are
day.
we feeling about
Yeah.
2009?
I don't know. It's a bit late.
Wait, go back to
It's
the
a bit
right.
late
Go
for
back to the right.
Cyprus crises.
Zoom
and,
in on the ads, please.
And for the PDA.
Okay, so look to the. Okay, wait, Sony. Oh, this is that. Okay, that's a Sony ebook reader that they're advertising.
Oh, an ebook reader.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does
2009
look- it
might
is
be
an
right
ebook, yeah,
on the
because
mark.
it's-
Yeah, it's like 2009, 2010, 2011 era, because that's when
I'm gonna go
Sony was
2009.
trying to push.
Yeah.
But also,
Damn.
Fucking hit it.
Damn.
nice.
But it was
Also-
way north of 14th Street.
Okay, I was wrong. I take that L.
I wanted to
I-
put it here. I'll just say.
I thought B&H was south.
Oh
But-
my god, is that the boat?
That's the boat.
No.
left.
It
That's the
doesn't-
Titanic. Yeah, it says Titanic on it.
Where does it say that?
it?
It's zoom into the letter.
Oh shit! Yeah. There's
Also-
no,
also I
on the
wanted-
right,
right
further
next
to
to
the
the
right.
rope.
No.
Also, I
Yeah,
wanted
there.
to mention.
God
Oh.
damn, you fucking eye that.
That doesn't
I
look
can
like
see it better than
Titanic.
you, and I couldn't tell it.
So this
All right,
is
It
either
doesn't
off,
look like
so this
Titanic.
must
No,
be
it
off
does.
the
It
coast
does.
of Ireland.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, where the
But
fuck
one
did
No,
second.
Bristol.
set off again?
So
Wait,
we
wait,
know
wait, wait,
the
wait,
Also,
year
wait.
also,
was,
I want to mention really quick with B&H Photo, back in New York, they're owned by Hasidic Jews. So if you try to go onto their website to buy things on Saturday, they won't let you. You can browse their catalog on Saturday, but you can't purchase anything.
That rules.
You have to wait till Sunday or any other day of the week.
That would be
Because
yeah.
the-
I want
The
everyone to
southern.
stop. I want everyone to stop for a moment.
Yes.
Sito, he who sees, did not see something.
Wait,
Rick is like,
Damn.
Revoke his name.
Wait, wasn't
I'm
Titanic
Bristol
launched off of
Belfast.
wasn't Titanic launched off of Northern Ireland, or am I completely wrong?
Belfast.
Belfast.
Oh, Belfast
Yeah.
was it? I thought it was Bristol.
all right, and the
have no
Titanic,
idea.
the movie came out in 1997, so we have the year.
This would have had to be
Yeah.
before 1997 because obviously they shot the movie.
Obviously.
No. This is James Cameron's movie set, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna
That
see
would
the
be
Titanic
fantastic.
in
That would be an incredible
2020?
prank.
Well,
In fact,
also, they
Titanic
had
was a
set-
documentary.
I have no idea.
They had
I have
set- they-
not even a vague conception of when it
Yep.
set off.
Also, Leonardo.
I mean,
we were
And it was
Oh.
in fucking Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
Southampton.
Who the fuck?
No, actually
Who the
Portsmouth.
fuck cares about Bournemouth?
It's Portsmouth.
There was a
Yeah,
very
exactly,
this
exactly.
is a very particular anecdote about my life. But there's a bookshop in Palma de Mallorca,
That's
which
Italian.
is a very
Yeah.
strange bookshop because it's like
We're gonna be either North
I
Italy
didn't want to
or
interrupt Gideon, you fucking
Sorry.
rude
Yeah,
ass.
let
Hear about the
Gideon
bookshop.
talk.
it's
Matteo, please.
it's basically we found it by accident and it's I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it led to Narnia somewhere. It's like convoluted. It's full of like trash and full of extremely
I
rare and
love
valuable
bookstores
volumes.
like that.
And it's run by like this sort of English guy who, when you go into it, he's like behind a cabinet watching like sports bets. And he
I love bookstores like that.
it's just called English Books. And so I was there with my ex-girlfriend, and she had many years prior been to Bournemouth, and she had there when a bookshop there closed down, purchased a bunch of books at reduced prices. And it turns out that in this completely different country, that was the guy whose bookshop it had been.
oh my god.
He had
Jesus
moved to
Christ.
Spain.
Again, I love these kind of bookstores.
Yeah, it's
I
also
love
it was often quite
Right.
disgusting, to be entirely honest with you. There, like, you would go down like one hallway and there would just like be, you could just look into his kitchen/bathroom, which is the same room.
Oh no.
It was a kitchen
Oh, no.
and then just a toilet with the seat open and like a tub in a basement, and it sort of smelled like water damage. It was a wonderful and terrible place.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Seator. We already know this is Milan. I'm gonna guess by looking at the cars. This is obviously a taxi junction, and they're
It's
using
near the station.
They're using Seat Volkswagen cars. I say this is like 2013, 2014. Based
later.
on that. Based on that one. Well,
No,
okay,
it's
yeah,
later
yeah,
because
yeah,
there's
what
a two-wheeled
Oh
scooter.
yeah, they got Toyotas as well. Oh jeez.
Yeah, look at the two-wheeled scooter as well.
I
That's
have been to the main
at least
station in Milan
16.
once.
Yeah,
and
this
they
is
ripped
a
me
a
off.
taxi station.
Why did they rip you off?
Maybe
It's a
2017,
long story.
2018.
But I was
No, that feels
visiting
late.
I was visiting Matt actually.
Me, yeah.
And because of delays with the German trains, I couldn't catch trains that I needed to catch, and then they were like, "Well, we don't give a fuck, so you have to buy a new ticket."
Yeah, Italy is one of the very few countries where
Hey,
they don't do that.
Gideon, I just want to mention a story from when I was a kid living in Oftersheim, Germany. I went with my mother to a bookstore in Ulftersheim, and apparently my mom was good friends with the owner, so we were actually in her above apartment house over the bookstore, and she was literally like taking a blowtorch to like chicken, to like rotisserie chicken, burning off the feathers.
Hang on, there's something happening here in chat. Somebody's asking, I haven't paid attention in years. Why did Krieg delete all his videos?
What?
I'm not okay. So
I think he's in the wrong channel.
Yes, I think
gotta
you're
go
on the
longer.
wrong channel. This is the second channel where we only do the live stream. You want to look at the Burger Creek channel because I have not deleted any of my videos. This is how many years are we talking here?
Ooh,
See,
what do you think
so
of this?
Yeah, that's because you would
yeah.
see. No, look at it. Look at the left.
What I'm worrying about is the year, because a lot of these are sedans.
Well,
and
we're
station wagons.
doing the fucking location first, then.
Location first, yeah.
Well, no,
I
I'm
think-
gonna worry about the later problem.
It might be. Cedar might be, but I'm not so sure.
There's no like a roundabout here. That's the problem.
Wait,
Yeah.
is there like is there like a public transit icon?
Yeah, but it's
on
not.
the map?
It's not. They don't look like that. Those places.
Well, this is a taxi station, so
yeah, but like
But
that
it's a taxi
specific
station
place
without a
that he's.
roundabout.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
but
that's
like
pretty
those. You
difficult.
see those grids patterns. Those are fully pedestrianized, or nearly fully
yeah.
pedestrianized. And it's like the
I mean, it
plaza in
looks
front
like
of the Duomo.
it looks like literally only these 4 cars worth, and then it starts to be pedestrianized here.
There's
I
also
really don't
there's
think
also a
it's that.
McCafe. There's also a McCafe, which means there's a McDonald's nearby.
That could literally be anywhere. This is
The American is
Yeah.
located at McDonald's.
The embassy.
So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but-
been it's been a couple years. Yeah, the main channel is where I do the videos nowadays.
To be
yeah.
honest, my first few times.
Shout out to his first video on this channel. Do not kill Donald Trump.
No, that's the other channel. That's the original channel.
Well, I mean, I meant
This is-
this as opposed to Arm Bears.
Hey, Burger, why
Like
does
this
your
project,
Fast Food
you know.
Thursday start at 20?
What?
Yeah, your Fast Food Thursday starts at 20 on this channel.
Well, you have to look at the playlist because the first 19 episodes were on the main channel.
Oh,
God
shoot.
damn, Milan has like huge ass roundabouts.
Many such places in Europe.
I mean, here in America, we're just grasping the concept of roundabouts.
All right,
And they're
Cito, you
like,
gotta
I feel
put it
like
down.
it's
We gotta
fine.
end
I mean,
the stream soon.
remember, one of
Yeah.
those is where you know.
Okay, Amdev, call the
I-
year
hung
right now.
him
Right now.
upside
You have
down.
10 seconds.
Right there.
2017,
Nine.
before the advent of crossover vehicles, this is 2017.
It was
1963.
2016.
That
Yeah.
was relatively close.
Okay,
Yeah,
it
I
wasn't
was
that.
kind of right. Because
Very
nowadays, you go to
Centrale,
that
Central Station.
Nowadays, you go to that taxi station, it's gonna be all full of MPVs and SUVs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Holy
shit.
Oh my
What?
god!
The meme.
What is this choice of image today?
No, this was a
What is
this
that
was,
look like? The
no,
whole
this was a
goddamn
popular
cake is on
photo
fire.
when Biden had his birthday. They literally like gave him like fucking
88
80,000
fucking yeah. They gave him
Yeah, he-
exactly
his
the
cost
amount of candles that his
Wing,
age
though?
was.
This would be in the West Wing.
Yeah. The president
What?
usually lives in the West Wing.
Okay,
Why is
The
he
main-
so
somebody
what
big?
year was Biden's birthday?
Every year.
Every year. I
Fucking
want to
the
say.
bit
I want to say
from-
20.
from Hot
I
Fuzz.
want to say 2021 was when this picture was taken because it goes so fucking hard.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Nah.
Yeah, he looks.
This
Look
is
at his
really
eyes.
weird.
He looks alert.
Spot on.
Oh,
Oh,
damn.
2023.
Let's
Hell
fucking go.
Let's go. That's
Oh,
very good.
man.
81 candles is what that is.
That rules.
Oh.
Bruh.
Literally a fire
What
hazard.
the fuck is he talking about?
Amazing.
Huh?
Turns out on your 147th birthday, you run out of space for candles.
Okay, so I imagine the birthday cake that the White House kitchen makes only has space for 148 candles.
They put a flamethrower.
That's insane.
Okay,
Corn
well,
pepper such a bad
it's
dude.
been a nice.
That's a respectable.
Thank you
That
all
was
very
a lot
much
of
for
fun. I
looking at
enjoyed
the
that.
stream. Thank you all very much for being on the
Raised
stream.
by wolves.
Free?
I'm gonna.
Huh?
Cheeto's gonna buy the Oblivion game now.
No,
Raised by
not
wolves.
raised by wolves.
And I'm gonna